Okay, so just testing my scene since I'm gonna start recording this for YouTube just to ensure that when I switch stuff, I can be able to see what is needed to see. Oops, okay, this up doesn't need to be here. Okay, camera, and I don't think that I may need to put in the camera my amount of followers since I am just starting. Okay, whatever, I can just put that. It's gonna be totally appreciated if somebody falls on the realm of follow with me when this happens. And I may need to update. Uh, yeah, I need to update something for. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm not going ultra. Copy. Okay, so just a couple things on my. Oh, oh, this definitely changed a lot. And I'm gonna change probably everything else. Uh, yeah, don't mind guys, everything that you see here as I am gonna start to update the stuff here and stickers gonna be here. Yeah, okay. Probably don't need a sticker here for the other scene. I mean not need it. So let's go back to VS Code. I don't need a ticker right now as I may need to properly explain myself. So I don't need this, but I'm gonna change my background definitely. I'm gonna remove the ticker. Let's change the background to something more adequate for the occasion. Yeah, something like this. Because why not? So finally, this is my first stream. And I really wanted to take attention on topics and as part of the conversation as any other software developer has, uh, I want to observe the state of the current market, what is happening in 2024, especially when you start to learn new things. Let's say that you want to jump into the market and now you are facing layoffs in many tech companies, and there are things that we need to clarify. Uh, how how you, as a person interested in software development, how you gonna try to face this situation. And if you are starting, you more likely will get into a bootcamp. And the topic of today is, uh, yeah, the topic of today is gonna be the great problems of bootcamps. So let's get started. So, why not jump into the book? I had to jump to the book right here. Oh, I mean, need to understand the topic notes here. Articles, group, now you're filming in progress. Okay, there you go. So you're gonna see that I'm gonna start to look back and forth between my notes and the camera, and it's gonna be totally okay. Let me see if I can just switch to peak mode on the right side. I wish. Actually, I just switch. I'm starting to use something called what is this? Uh, Notion. Notion is very good to take notes. Definitely moving from Obsidian to uh, Notion, and I hope this is gonna help me to navigate over some stuff. So let's start. Tech companies are laying out a lot of people, and we need to understand what is happening with the current market if we are attempting to navigate over the current market. So let's go back to 2020 when there was an explosion of positions for front-end development, back-end development, whatever you want to name it, to start in a tech company. 2020 was the best year. So you can start to learn something online and pass an interview. And because the demand was too high, you have really high chances to get a job. But we are in 2024, and the situation is not that easy. And really, I want to explore with you what was happening if you want to go over to go on a bootcamp. So I'm gonna quickly switch to one website that is Career Foundry. So let me have to go back. No, where are you doing? OBS. Well, Touch Portal, don't fail me like that. Okay, so let's go here. Okay, so I really want to tell you everything that about boot camps. So they say pretty much that they have a structure that is totally flexible. Okay, you can learn at your own pace. Let's highlight this for a moment because the truth is later on I'm gonna say why is not really true. You're gonna be job ready by creating an impressive developer portfolio, which is totally obvious, but it's doable if if you're disciplined enough and you have a price and you have a time frame. You have a job as a developer in 180 days, guaranteed. So I'm gonna say this guaranteed again in the scope of this article, and they put your price, $8,000, $10,000. It depends on the place you go. So the real problem starts with structure. And what I do here is to open ScaliDraw and try to describe what it doesn't matter if it is front end or if it is back end. You're gonna start. Oh, did I start to record? Oh, yeah, good thing. I'm recording. So again, doesn't matter if you are front end or you are back end, but you have this ramp in your bootcamp course to just to get ready for the market, and this is what is usually happening. So let's say like this period of time where you're starting. We're just gonna use this one. This period of you're gonna have this period of time, and this period of time is gonna be let's say 180 days. That is quite optimistic for a from the position that's 180 days. Really? I don't think that somebody is gonna be ready in 180 days to find a job in a tech company. It's gonna be quite difficult. And in 180 days, they had teach you the fundamentals of whatever area you are using. If you are going into, let's pretend that the topic is gonna be front-end development. So you're gonna start to learn JavaScript, and you may want to learn to also understand, let's say, React. They're gonna put you React on the plate. You're gonna use, you are not gonna learn TypeScript up to this point. There is no chance that you're gonna learn TypeScript in 180 days. They're gonna teach you how to use Git, and let's put this smaller. This JavaScript should be inside here. Git, they're gonna teach you how to use GitHub, let's say here, and they're gonna onboard you to create a project or small projects. So they're gonna onboard you to generate one or two or five projects on your bootcamp. Let's say, like hypothetically speaking, you're gonna create five projects, and then in your 180 days, you have to create an impressive portfolio for your final project. let's say final project. So this is what they're promising you, that in 180 days, you're gonna learn JavaScript, you're gonna learn some front-end, let's say library, in this case, React. You're gonna learn Git, GitHub, and you're gonna start to implement. Oh, and I forgot to you may want to get familiar with CSS and HTML, because why not? Because without that, how can you build stuff? So 180 days, JavaScript, React, Git, GitHub, five project, final project, and you have to use CSS and HTML. Practically speaking, you may not even have the time to properly digest this in 180 days. And what is going to happen is this serves you as a foundation for you to go into a bigger market where demands are high. With this level of experience that you're going to build here, you won't have enough tenure to find front-end development. In the real sense of the word, the experience that you're getting here in 180 days is not going to match this space, because if practically what is going to happen here, and I'm just gonna make a reference of this frame inside of this one, okay? So I'm gonna say here, this is the space. I'm gonna, in this 180 days, you cannot fail. You have to get ready your stuff. And you're gonna be, let's say in this 100, I'm gonna say here, 180 days, you're gonna be ramped up in a way that probably is gonna approach you to the desired outcome. You're gonna go into try to climb this path where you're gonna start to build things. But as you see here, you always go up, and the reason why is because they are not teaching you how to fail. And this is critical because when you learn software engineering, any kind of computer language, you have to fail for you to understand what is going on with the system, or whatever you are building. Even a hello world, if you fail first time, you understand what is going on and you correct your code, you're gonna get it right. If you learn structured programming in JavaScript, you have to learn how to use if, how you use uh, conditionals, or you're gonna use force, etc. How to structure your program, and that requires you to fail. This over here, you have no chance for you to fail. Therefore, you're gonna have big problems when you get ramped up into front-end development. So 180 days is is not gonna be the right time for you to do stuff. So you won't have enough time. Literally, you won't have enough time to build all the things that they are promising you. Look, they're telling you in 180 days. You will find a job as a web developer in 180 days. But that was perspective of 2020. We are in 2024. And if you want to go to bootcamps, you're going to face difficulties, big difficulties, because you won't have enough space to do this. The right path for you to develop is not to take 180 days and not to learn all of this. This is totally unnecessary. What I mean, if you want to go into front-end development, go with the core, that is JavaScript. So I'm gonna highlight this. I'm probably just gonna let me see if I can just hide it. Hide? No? Okay, I cannot even hide it. But let's say, for just for the sake of the conversation, I'm just gonna put this out, all of this, because this doesn't make sense. What you're gonna do? Take 6 months. My suggestion, my humble suggestion. If you go to a boot camp, don't go in a boot camp that teach you a bunch of stuff. Just go a boot camp that teach you properly JavaScript. And what you're gonna do in that boot camp of 6 months. That's more reasonable. I know, guys, you want to get your dream job or to get in a uh, tech position as a front-end or back-end engineer. Whatever is the case, the market changed a lot. And if you want to go and face an interview, the interviews that you're gonna face are not going to help you on what you learn in these 180 days. These 180 days is a waste of time. This is garbage. You cannot do anything with the knowledge that you gather on those 180 days. So, my suggestion for you is take 6 months where you're gonna learn JavaScript, and I don't want to leave this ugly graphic here. And these 180 days, that's it's not gonna be the match for what you need to do. My suggestion here is learn the language as much as you can. Go all the path, up, down, left, right. You have all these 6 months to fail every single time. So you understand how the language works, how the data structures works. How do you wanna do to solve problems properly? You're gonna have all these 6 months for you to build your foundational knowledge. Not the level of a software engineer, uh, but at least you're gonna have foundational knowledge that can help you to go into the next step. So once you fill all those blanks, all those dots, when you are done with this, you can go into the next step, that is learning a framework. So in these 6 months, now that you have a foundation for this, you're gonna have uh, you see this space here? The in reality, React is not JavaScript. It's just something that uses JavaScript to generate components for user interfaces. If you already know this, rather than uh, the high speed course of learning JavaScript that I put this tiny, because this is the preparation, this is the size correlates to the amounts of preparation you're gonna have. This is what you're gonna learn 180 days, and this is what I'm highlighting here. This is your 6 months of hard work that you're gonna put your time and try to do good and learn the code and understand how things works. Once once you have this foundational knowledge, you're gonna have easy time. It's not it looks ugly, but it's not gonna be just this small space. Compare this 180 days for these 6 months of hard work that you put into your learning. You're gonna see that the big difference between a bootcamp and looking for a bootcamp that teaches you properly the fundamentals of JavaScript and gives you enough foundation so when you go into learn React, it's gonna take you less time and you won't have this gap of information. So let's assume that we fill all of the dots and we have learned JavaScript in the right way. So let me put this as a black. Boom. So this is your foundational knowledge on JavaScript that you should be learning. And this is what bootcamps doesn't tell you. The amount of effort that you had to build in 180 days doesn't compare to the amount of knowledge and time that you're gonna build in these 6 months. It's gonna help you to ramp up. Definitely. It's guaranteed that if you put your effort in 6 months rather than 180 days just to get a tech job, it's delusional. you have to go and learn the language as it is. So the amount of effort that you're gonna have here to learn, let's say, React, is gonna be lower than just only this. That's this. This is your, let's say, this is your 180 days. So you see the difference? In 180 days, you have less experience than just building for 6 months. So now that you understand that you have to put time and effort for this, the next time that the next step is just to learn or React or Angular, whatever you feel attracted. You have to check in the market. There are several places where you can look and do your research. What uh, what uh, what are the trends uh, on what the companies are looking for? But definitely, if you want to go for React, go for it. If you really like it, okay? It has its pros, it has its cons, but this is something that I assume that you do the research, and if you want to go with it, good luck with that. But at the end of the day, your foundational knowledge is gonna help you to ramp up faster. That's just only this. The level of difficulty is gonna be lower because in the 6 months you fail enough. Okay, so that's it. I will give you to learn like at React very well in 3 months. Let's say, let's be realistic. In 3 months, you're gonna have enough time probably to build a decent project. And that's what the bootcamp should tell you to use. In 180 days, they are gonna tell you how to uh, in the in this chart that I deleted for 180 days. I'm gonna just put it back here. Boo. Okay, so this is our 180 days. So again, final project, GitHub, Git, React, 5 projects, CSS, HTML, JS. Okay. When you get into React, when you start to build projects, you're gonna start to face how to understand CSS. That you may need to take time because it's part of how user interfaces does. If you need to know how to decorate your user interface, you need to learn CSS. You need to understand a bit of HTML, which is not that problematic, but it takes a bit of time. It goes in these 3 months. But at the same time, you need to understand that when you're building your project, you're gonna start to ramp up into Git. So as soon as you start to develop your project, you're gonna start to learn these basic things, and it's only there that you can start to build something that you can showcase. Only here. So if you devote yourself in these 3 months to do the right thing, oops, set to the back. If you devote yourself these 3 months to learn properly React along with the build pieces of build of code that you may need to use, along with GitHub, you need to learn Git, HTML, CSS, etc. You can start to ramp on personal projects to put in GitHub. Make 2 or 3 projects, but these 3 months that you learn React, okay, so now we have 9 months. I know that you wanted to ramp out in the market in 180 days. It's not realistic in 2024. You need to be prepared. Okay. So finally, we got to the stage where we're gonna start to ramp up into the market. So we already know all of this. Okay. 6 months of pure JavaScript, React in 3 months. So you can start to get ready to look for your front-end development. Now you see what I'm looking. What I'm looking you guys is take the necessary effort to fill the voids. that you have here. So when you get into the market, you won't face this kind of issues or difficulties. Because the reality is, now that we go to the market, now you have for 9 months that if you do your homework, it's your homework to do the right things, invest on your education. Don't do bootcamps in 180 days. That's not sane. Okay, back to my notes. So again, I'm gonna take from my notes because I do think that it is very important to understand uh, the context of the current market. Me as a person who interview people, when I start to uh, get interviews for entry level or senior, for me it's very important that you perform very well in explaining in detail. You have to speak properly and explain the problem in detail. As well as you type your problem, you have to explain your thoughts. If you cannot be able to verbose that, or you keep quiet while you are coding stuff, that's an immediate red flag. And in 2024, that's a red flag. That's a big red flag because right now the projects have been condensed in a way because there is not the demand that we had in 2020, where people were just literally working at home because of the pandemic, and there is not that load of uh, projects that were focused just to make people comfortable, to have comfortable lives at home. That is not the case. It's 2024, and as we saw in 2023, there were a big load of layoffs in tech companies, which is unfortunate because there were many talented people that were just cut off their foundation. And right now, what it remains is just core structure projects for the companies to survive. And the companies need to cut costs in order for them to survive. And because of this big explosion of developers in any kind of sort of project, they had to reduce costs to keep the company in operation. So Microsoft, Google, Meta, count it as you want. Financial institutions, many of those companies laid out a lot of people. Uh, but uh, what me as an interviewer, I'm looking for you when you reach this front-end development stage, when you reach this green stage that I'm gonna just I don't think it's not gonna highlight down, so I'm gonna just put this in green. Yeah, because this is the area where you're gonna go to work. Once I build my foundation, I'm expecting you to do three things. When this is something that the bootcamp will not teach you, you have to develop soft skills. Let's say develop conversational skills. That's one. You have to practice uh, what to speak what you code. That will give the excuse me. That will give to the person who is doing the interview for you. That's gonna give to the person who is interviewing you to have a real sense on how you solve problems. So in that context, you need to be verbose, speak your thoughts. So number one, the interviewer is not the main actor. it becomes the listener because you are driving to the solution and you have to address very well your train of thought. So as you develop your train of thought, take notes in your code and start to develop the solution. You have to ensure to have a not not a shiny personality because you are unique among people. I just be cordial, be attentive with the interviewer, but also try to take the best of yourself, the best part of yourself, of your own personality, and showcase it. Because if I were leading a team, I'm looking for a person that can help me to solve problems, but also that can be able to communicate in a way that invites people to talk. I don't want people that rise to a team that is gonna be arrogant and start to generate discord in my team of developers. So if you can be have an inviting tone, try to don't be neutral in your conversation because it's gonna cut many doors. So pretty much that's it. Have an inviting tone on the interview. Okay, so pretty much. I'm not trying to go all over the branch because this kind of soft skills you cannot develop it in 180 days. Again, the boot camps by themselves is not enough practice. And how can you develop these conversational skills? And the problem is you have to look to network. So there are many channels where you can start to have conversations. If you have a LinkedIn page, probably you can start to look with that. Try to network in groups related to React. That's another solution. You can just go look for Discord channels and try to interact with people. Otherwise, your options to interact with people that can help you to mock an interview is very important that you try to mock as much interviews as you can and uh, try to master at least one good exercise because later on this is going to give you the confidence to be able to communicate with another people. Uh, this is very important. Try to join in a community, and as you join in these communities, trying to interact with many people. Try to fill your Discord channel as with as many people as you can, and try to engage with conversations. So there are so many. Oh, did I just? Oh, I think I disabled my. Oh, well, I'm not gonna show my Discord, but pretty much, I I I I get into Angular communities. I get into NX framework communities. I get into some of these social, those tech influencers. I am in Theo's channel. I am in the Prime Agents channel. Try to network with. I am in Milkid's channel. So try to network. Try to get in contact with these people. Otherwise, you won't have the chance to ask, "Hey, can you help me to mock my interview?" Because I don't feel confident. I know this. I spent my time in the last 9 months polishing my knowledge to see if I can be able to get a front-end development position. And you may need definitely to polish your interview skills. My advice here is once you get to the level that you feel confident to apply for interviews, apply as many interviews as you can. Uh, I will I have an experience before when I was It was like at 2020 before joining one of the companies I worked before. I get interviewed by a TV broadcasting company, but also because I needed a job. I started to send resumes here and there and everywhere. Then the recruiter told me, "What you are playing?" And my honest voice was, "I'm looking for a job. That's what I am playing." Don't be afraid of interviewers that starts to make, well, in this case, recruiters. Don't be scared of recruiters. In theory, recruiters are the people who are helping you to ramp up a position on whatever position is available for that company in front-end development or back-end development, whatever it is. But don't be afraid of people raising the tone to you because your objective is just to find job. Screw them. I don't care. I say, I'm looking for a job. What is your problem? Why you are talking to me like that? And you just hang up and I walk out because I know when people will value my expertise or my disposition to have a job. And probably the recruiter was not the best person, but who knows? At the end, I was recruited by another TV broadcasting company, and I had one of the best experience I had. A bit bittersweet, but there was ups and downs, and I cannot be more grateful for that because going through ups and downs, I was able to fill many gaps on my knowledge base that I didn't have idea. Again, so conclusion: you had to fail enough to fill this void. Don't fill the void half. Don't fill the void in a way that is not gonna give you some meaningful value. Make mistakes as much as you can to fill the box. And once you feel prepared to take to the next stage, you're gonna take this time to learn little by little, little by little. So when you ramp up into interviews, you're gonna go into front end development. To get into interviews, to get into finding work, you have to nowadays you have to network because this was 2020. Let's say the level of interviewing here front end development for 2020 it was this. The bar was practically low for low entries. See, it's not much difference from your learning React in 3 months just to get ready for a front-end development position in 2020. But oh boy, after pandemic, things change a lot. And now this is 2024. This is, oh no, 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 no. This is 2024. Send to back. This is front-end development in 2024. Position in 2024. What is the difference between 2020 and 2024? As you see, as you can see here, the knowledge base that you are required has to match the one of a senior. Meaning what? Companies will try to invest money on people who can deliver fast. And for you to deliver fast, you need to have an impressive, good knowledge of whatever is needed, not in terms of front-end development, but now you have to gather more knowledge on backend in software architecture, uh, probably algorithms if you need and data structures if you want to optimize something that is happening in the backend, maybe, but in the front end is doable. I don't think it's gonna happen because pretty much as possible everything is optimized by the frameworks or libraries and they provide that out of the box. Unless you want to create something that leverage takes advantage of uh, something that the framework is not really offering, you can take those. and optimize something. But this red space that I'm highlighting here means that companies are looking for people very smart that can deliver as soon as they get on board. They don't have enough time for training people to get to this extent. They don't have the time anymore. They don't have the money for training. So pretty much when you get into a company as a junior, this green chart, you're gonna have to grow up to a certain degree where you can master the the project that you are being onboarded. But that was 2020, where there were a lot of entry positions and you had the opportunity to grow to this level. That time is unfortunately gone. And my advice here is don't be afraid if you cannot fill this gap, but you have to put time and effort. I know they tell you 180 days of graduate after 180 days. And the, the, here is sad to see the time commitment that you need to do 19 weeks or 12 weeks. It's less than 3 months. Well, cuatro, ocho, yeah, as much as 3 or 4 months. 3 months, let's say as much. 3 months, 180 days. But you cannot get this to learn JavaScript properly in 180 days. You cannot get all of this in 180 days. There is no way. So my goal here is not to discourage you. So I'm gonna switch camera. So my goal here is not to discourage you uh, about the new landscape of software development in 2024. There are things that change substantially. Companies are very demanding right now, and they want people who can solve problems immediately. As soon as you get into the code base, you need to contribute and put fires down. So what you can do, uh, first be objective and realistic that getting a position, excuse me, uh, be realistic and objective that getting positions in 2024 is going to be a big task. It's not going to be easy, but it's not impossible to get a position. You have to put effort and time, and you have to start to work in your soft skills. Uh, Network with people, network in different Discord channels. Try to test as much as you can mock interviews, and don't be afraid of the process. There will be a lot of rejection because you are just new, but if you show your dedication in 6 months to learn properly JavaScript, and in 3 months focus solely to understand React and build a decent project, you can probably land a job in 2024. There is no magic bullet for this. You cannot in no way create have a front end or software position software development there is no way that in 180 days you can get a position as a software developer. You have to go and fail enough so you can build good things, understand the language, so you can build the things that you want to envision and create new dreams for your future. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so if you guys like my video, please click on the like button, and I will try to do my best to create additional content. That's pretty much the video of today. Okay, thank you very much. See you next time. Oh, I forgot I had to change this. So my name is Eric Rodriguez. This is Eric Rodriguez Code, and I see you in the next video. Peace. So I'm not gonna uh, say or do more stuff. Pretty much I recorded what I needed to say, and I hope you guys like the video. Thank you for attending for those who pass and say something. I didn't activate anything yet on the alerts, and fortunately didn't activate anything. So my next stream is gonna be next Tuesday, next Thursday. Tomorrow I have a busy day. Next Thursday, and oh, now I can mark this as a complete. So next thing I have to do is to edit. Okay, may have to add on these properties. So I may need to add a new in progress. I'm gonna say here video edit to video edit. Okay, so now I'm gonna say here to this what I have to video edit, and I'm gonna say here on the chat. Oh, I forgot to add my chat here. No. Uh, I had to go over here. Let's see. Uh, let's see. I'm gonna say here marker. I'm gonna say here uh, the great problems of bootcamp off. Okay. We. I don't like this. We. I don't like this. It seems that it was working fine, so I'm gonna just. I'm gonna say here marker and the great problems of bootcamps. Okay, so that's pretty much. Tomorrow, next video is gonna be NX folder structures for large projects, and that pretty much is gonna be the stream for this night. When I start to edit the video. Okay, have a great night, guys. Thank you. Good night. And this is the end.